pretty sure, Bud, that in this excitement, and I've been known to do it myself when we're keyed up, say something other than you meant.
That's very, very easy to do. We've been looking forward to this many, many weeks, all during the season. You're thinking well, and I believe, Chris, that what you just mentioned could be a key factor early in the game. In talking to Tommy Prothero and Johnny McKay, both of them were fearful that their squads, having been head-to-head competition in the polls all year, would be so tight by the time they got ready for this kickoff that they might momentarily not have quite the poise that is desirable in any athletic event.
Back deep on the far side is Bill Bolden, number 18, a second-string quarterback who will be under the kick along with number 36, Mike Garat. And kicking off for the Trojans in the maroon or scarlet uniforms, Tim Rosevich. And the ball game is underway. This is Bolden that has the ball at the 5 for UCLA, coming out to the 15, now the 20. The 6'3" reserve quarterback comes up to the 27-yard line, where Ty Selness makes the tackle for the Trojans, joined by Steve Swanson. So it will be Gary Beban, a great quarterback, a great leader, very poised, under pressure, that now is in front of his team in a choir-like huddle with the ball at his own 27, 1st and 10. Gary Beban is number 16. He has in the backfield Rick Purdy, a fullback, 33. Dave Nuttall, 89, is the split into the far side, coming back into the set. Greg Jones. To the near side, it is Rich Spindler's split.
We'll see Southern California today, Chris, in two different defensive alignments, a sort of a split 6 type front with the linebacker sitting inside the guards. It was called an even set, and then also they'll be in an odd set, 5 men, 1 man over the center, as they're going to be apparently on this particular snap.
Greg Jones gained 2 yards on the play for UCLA, so we have a 2nd down and 8 with the ball at the UCLA 29. No score in the ball game. In motion is the fullback, Purdy, and the pitch goes outside to Greg Jones. Jones gets very little running room by the Southern California defense, led by Gary Magner, number 75, the up front right tackle for the Trojans. And let's see where the forward progress is stopped. At the 32, a gain of 3 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 5 as we look at the offensive lineup from top to bottom for UCLA.
We've heard so much about Gary Beban. I think Greg Jones has been one of the boys that has been overlooked on that last run. I think all of you recognize that he, too, can sort of slip past tacklers and have a good shot at him.
With a 3rd down and 5, the Bruins with the ball at their own 32. Here is Gary Beban, hoping to throw and runs up the middle. Gets outside to the 35. He did not make enough for the 1st and 10. It'll be a 4th down and about 2 here at the Coliseum in Los Angeles.
Johnny McKay believes that his defensive chances today rest on his 2 ends, Rosevich and Gunn. If they can keep Beban inside, not let him get out around turning the corner, that they will be able to control the Yukon offense.
And now Andrew Shishin, a Ukrainian living in Canada, now in the United States as a javelin thrower first for UCLA, and the number 1 punter in the country. This is UCLA's big weapon, and he gets one off the foot. A beauty coming back to the 15. Mike Battle coming out to the 20. The number 4 punt returner in the nation is Frettel at his own 22-yard line. So the Trojans, after a 50-yard punt by the nation's leader and only an 8-yard return, which you can figure is a 42 in net yardage, they have a 1st and 10. And the referee, Jack Springer, has spotted the ball at the Trojan 22-yard line. Offensively now for the Trojans, Steve Sagi, number 12 at quarterback. Dan Scott is the fullback. And watch for number 32, O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson gets the call, Bud.
I believe that time, Chris, they had 8 men on the line of scrimmage. I talked to John McKay before the game. He said they were going to use that set. It does break down the basic spacing in the defensive line because you have 1 more man there. Obviously, it gives you 1 more place to get a good blocking angle. Here they come. Let's see if they're in the same set, and yes, they are.
Yes, they are, as O.J. Simpson got 6 yards on the play. It's 2nd down and 4 for Southern California at their own 28. Sagi gives to Simpson again, who coming into this ball game in 9 games had carried the ball or thrown it, which he can do 241 times. Larry Agajanian, the left guard for UCLA on defense, made the tackle. The ball now is at the 25, a loss of 3, so it's going to be a 3rd down and 7 here in Los Angeles. This is the Southern California lineup. Big, mobile, agile line as Earl McCullough, a speedster, is set out here to the near side. Sagi. There's McCullough, number 22, but the pass, as a result of a strong pass rush by UCLA, was short. So that brings up a 4th down and 7. Agajanian and Alan Clayman put the rush on Steve Sagi, the Trojan quarterback.
That pattern will be used by USC most of the time on their passes this afternoon. They will be faking to Simpson to try to freeze the linebackers and open up the deep secondary.
4th down and 7, and Ricky Aldridge or Mark Gustafson. Let's see, Mark Gustafson now is deep as we look at number 27, Ricky Aldridge. Gustafson at the 39 had 2 Southern California players missing, including number 22, Earl McCullough, but then it was Bob Klein, an offensive end, who stopped UCLA at their own 40-yard line. A 35-yard punt, no return. Floating along majestically high above the Memorial Coliseum is the Goodyear blimp, the Columbia. And from our ABC color camera in the blimp, this is the shot, live and in color, showing you the vastness of this Coliseum, which was built for the 1932 Olympics and since has been the seat of the annual battle between USC and UCLA. So now let's watch the UCLA Bruins as they have the ball, 1st and 10, and they are in Southern California territory at the 47. First time today. Here's Gary Beban. Rich Spindler, number 87, was the target as the pass was short. Beban now has gone to the air for UCLA twice, and he is looking for his first completion. UCLA has run off 5 plays on the ground for 4 net yards. So, from the 47 of Southern Cal, Bud, it's 2nd and 10.
And great tribute to the defensive scouting of both of these ball clubs thus far.
Dave Nuttall to the far side. Copeland to the near side. Nuttall, number 89. And UCLA has its first completion of the afternoon. Pat Cashman, the defensive halfback, covered on the play as we look at Nuttall. Slow motion of that last play.
There's a bootleg fake in the backfield. The fake was to the right of your screen. Beban rolling back to this side. It's perfect execution of the down hook at the sidelines and then spinning back into the field. You could see the double coverage just miss as the end was late getting there.
Okay, Bud, as UCLA shifts, they have the initial 1st down of the game. From the 35 of Southern California, this is Gary Beban, the quarterback, faking beautifully. Getting inside the 25. Number 50 is Adrian Young, the Dublin, Ireland-born linebacker for Southern California. As we see Beban here, he had bruised ribs coming into the ball game, and he may have been hurt once more.
This is the basic play. Let's watch it in slow motion. It's the sweep run by the quarterback. Watch Purdy here. He hooks the end, but the end moved inside as Beban broke inside. Beban does read the block perfectly, and as he went down, he did pinch his rib.
1st and 10 now from the 24 with a new quarterback, Bill Bolden from San Diego, sophomore. Greg Jones carried the ball for the Bruins. No score in the game. We have approximately 8 minutes remaining in the first quarter. That's Gary Beban of Redwood City, California, a super player, and his replacement is Bill Bolden. And on the last play, Tim Rosevich and Steve Swanson made the tackle.
Now, Beban's injury is a little piece of loose cartilage between the ribs. There's nothing dangerous about it, but it does give you a very sharp pinch of pain if you get caught in just the right position.
Bill Bolden, 6'3", an engineering major, has his work cut out now for him as Greg Jones off tackle and inside the 15 of the Trojans.
I've been waiting for UCLA to run up the middle, as I'm sure most of you had who have been looking at the defense. Southern California daring them to run up the middle by playing both of their guards on the outside shoulder of the guards with linebackers behind them.
Okay, Bud, as Gary Beban now comes back into the lineup for UCLA. Bolden comes to the near sideline. This is a big play, 3rd down and 1 for UCLA at the Southern California 15-yard line. Nuttall to the near side of the field. Short slot, Jones now moving back into the set. Busby to the far side as they go for the 1st down. Rick Purdy, the fullback at 208 pounds, gets the 1st down for UCLA, and it's number 3 for the Bruins. None yet for the Trojans. Beban engineering a play, and now has the ball with a 1st and 10 at the Southern California 12-yard line. Coming into the ball game, number 85, Farmer, George Farmer.
I believe he has a little better ability to block and also receive passes.
Short slot to the far side. Here is Beban now, looking to hit number 89, Dave Nuttall. Jerry Shaw was covering Nuttall deep right near the 5-yard line, and I'm wondering, Gary just didn't take a lot of time and just threw the ball.
As you can see, Chris, he's pretty well covered here, and I believe that Beban did not want to risk the interception, and he threw the ball just a little bit long because both men are right there on Nuttall.
Nuttall to the far side. George Farmer in the slot now, and the give is to Greg Jones. Jones is in for a UCLA touchdown. Greg Jones scoring his 6th touchdown of the year, number 43, and let's look at it again.
You see power sweep, Beban leading with Purdy. Watch Beban now down the field as he makes his block. Jones reading the block, breaking inside, sensing the goal line, turning on the speed, and getting all the way to the end zone before his knees hit the ground.
The scoring came at 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. UCLA leads 6-0. Andrew Shishin is the kicker. Greg Jones, who scored the touchdown, is holding. The try for the point after is good. 47 yards in 8 plays, a 12-yard touchdown by Greg Jones, and a happy UCLA cheerleader as ABC and the NCAA combine to bring you all the thrills and festivities of college football. Timeout. The score is UCLA 7, USC nothing. Back again at the Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles. UCLA has scored with 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter, and with the point after they lead Southern California 7-0. And Bud, in your pregame show, you mentioned something about a defensive shift on the part of Southern California.
They read the defense on the shift, Chris. That time the rover man was moving to the bottom of your screen. As you noticed, the shift went strong to the top, and that set up that sweep for the touchdown.
O.J. Simpson is deep for the first time under a kick, and it is a beauty by Andrew Shishin, the nation's top kicker. And we have a 1st and 10 now for Southern California, trailing by a touchdown and a point after. They'll have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20. There is Andrew Shishin. And now Southern California with Earl McCullough to the far side. 8 strong men up front now as Simpson gets to the line of scrimmage and inches following that. Mark Gustafson, who is under kicks for UCLA, came up from his halfback position to make that play. As we look at the UCLA defense, which this year has been quick. They like to squirm and stunt a lot as you look at them. The Southern California offensive team comes out. And we have Earl McCullough, a speedster, set to the near side. Again, 8 men up front. The eye, and here is O.J. Orenthal James Simpson, number 32. Lepisto, number 80, made the play, joined by Mike Cat Ballou, the linebacker. Simpson now 5 carries, no yards gained. Coming into this game, averaging 150 yards a game, Bud.
And it appears that the off end is keying Simpson and going right with him man for man. We'll try to check that for you as the game progresses.
Loss of a yard. It's 3rd down and 11. Ron Drake to the far side. Steve Soggy looks for pass blocking. Dan Scott, the fullback, was the intended receiver. UCLA is in the lead 7-0. We have approximately 4 minutes and 45 seconds remaining as Hal Griffin was in on Soggy. So it's another 4th down situation for the hapless Trojans thus far, and Ricky Aldridge is back around his own 6-yard line, and Gustafson is under the kick. Here is Aldridge. Coming into the game, averaging about 35 yards a punt. Gets that one off extremely well, forcing Gustafson back at his own 37, out to the 40, moving to the 45, midfield. They're in SC territory. UCLA with the ball, and we have a penalty flag down at the UCLA 48-yard line. Now let's wait for the signal by the referee, Jack Springer. A clipping penalty. Clipping and 15 yards against UCLA, leading in the ball game 7-0. 4.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Timeout here at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, where the score is UCLA 7, USC nothing. You're looking at portions of the city that has grown vastly and is still growing. We're in the Los Angeles area, and here is the Memorial Coliseum, where today the Crosstown rivals UCLA and Southern California are battling. On the far side of the field, that is a Trojan cheerleader. And you can see the type of weather that we're enjoying here today. Shirt sleeves, 80 degrees. From the 34, UCLA with the ball. Beban with a flanker to the far side, split into the near side. Lofts went out there to number 87, Rich Spendler. And his forward progress was stopped at about the 44-yard line. Now you're looking at the all-time leaders in total offense of the major colleges. Today, Gary Beban, who was in the number 8 spot, has already passed Terry Baker. So now he can set his sights on the people ahead of him. And you never know that he might catch Davis or Myra today. Spurrier, doubtful. However, what a player. 47-yard drive in 8 plays with Jones scoring has put UCLA on top 7-0. 1st and 10 from the 44. There's Jones for UCLA. Rick Purdy is the fullback. Jones is in the backfield along with Farmer. And the carry is up to the 49, a gain of 5, so it'll be 2nd down and 5. We have a minute approximately remaining. Dave Nuttall to the far side. Greg Jones back set behind his quarterback along with Purdy. Purdy comes out to block for Beban. Does a good job. Jim Gunn, however, was in on the play. Let's take a look at the fullback block by Rick Purdy.
Purdy is a great blocker. And as Beban comes out, watch him look at the defensive end. Purdy blocks him, but he didn't feel that it was open inside. And even though the end is knocked down beautifully by Purdy, Beban is forced outside. And now as he turns up the field, of course, the defensive halfback will be there along with the pursuit men. And if he can't get turned up very quickly, it's tough for him to make yardage.
Farmer in the slot to the far side. Nuttall going out on a pass pattern along with Farmer and out in the flat. Ooh, an interception, and it's touchdown, Southern California. Pat Cashman, there he goes. If there are no flags on the play,
there are none.
Pat Cashman. That pass, a dangerously thrown pass. Intended for Greg Jones, but Pat Cashman, a senior from Long Beach, California, for the Trojans, and are their fans happy? It is 7-6 now.
When you throw the ball across the field, and when we call that against the grain pattern, Chris, it's usually a rather isolated area. The receiver may be wide open, but if the defensive halfback is not pulled out of position by the fake, and he does time the move, he can pick it off, and it surely is a cheap, easy touchdown.
And that was only the 7th interception. The 7th interception UCLA this year. Time for a reason down on the field. Let's see if it's perhaps Ricky Aldridge who needs to tie his shoe before he tries the point after. Let's watch that touchdown by Cashman again.
Watch Beban now as he fakes. His fake was to Jones, and then he turns and throws the ball back to Jones, but Cashman read it perfectly, came in, picked it off at the high point, and it's smooth and easy sailing to the end zone.
A 35-yard interception and touchdown run by Pat Cashman. The University of Southern California, which was unable to negotiate a first down, did it with their defense. Pat Cashman intercepted, and well, he took care of things.
Having 6 points on the board, Chris, and no yardage gain makes a coach feel pretty happy.
It sure does. And as you pointed out, Bud, you start with a defense, and then you build a football team. So there it is, a great tie ball game here at Memorial Stadium. And Bud, I know that you're not disappointed in what has happened thus far.
It's lived up to my expectations, and I'm sure that it will for all fans throughout the country.
Back again as Southern California, following a 35-yard interception touchdown run by Pat Cashman of the defensive unit. We have a tie ball game, as on the near side we have Bill Bolden, the reserve quarterback, and Mike Garrett on the far side awaiting Tim Rosovich's kick following the Trojan touchdown. Tie ball game, and this is the start of the second quarter. Garrett has the ball at the 10, the 15, the 20. 25 outside to the 30. A beautiful run back. Now Gary Beban goes back to work. 1st and 10 in perfect field position at the 38. Nuttall to the far side. And Greg Jones carries the ball from the 38-yard line. He moves out to the 43, so it'll be a 2nd down and 5.
You want to watch number 80, the rover man for Southern California, Tyus Solness. You'll be able to anticipate whether it's going to be an odd or an even defense. If he goes to the strong side of the UCLA formation, the wingback or slot back side, it will be odd. If he goes to the opposite side, as he's doing now, it will be even.
Urquiaga is the offensive center for UCLA, who along with Baima opened the hole for Jones on the previous play. But the Southern California defense, led by Gary Magner, number 75, was there. Rick Purdy carried the ball. Forward progress stopped at the 44, gain of 2, so it's going to be a 3rd down and 3. The series record. USC winning the majority, as you see. But Tommy Prothro has beaten John McKay the past 2 years in today, the battle for the Rose Bowl bid, national championship, and so on down the line. College football in its 99th year of excitement and color with timeout. The score is USC 7, UCLA 7, as we return to our studios for this message.
Now a quick look at those other 5 games that we talked of before the kickoff here. In the Ivy League, Yale has wrapped that up with a 29-7 victory over Princeton. And in the Big Ten, Minnesota has moved closer to the Rose Bowl by beating Indiana 33-7. Now back to this one.
All right, it's UCLA 3rd down and 3 from their own 44. With a tie ball game, it was Pat Cashman who scored the touchdown. Possibly in estimating the length of his run back, it was probably closer to 55 yards than 35, as we indicated a little earlier, so we'd like to make that correction right now. Beban carrying the ball, his 6th time for 14 yards, and he actually lost a yard there, Bud.
That last one was a perfect defense against the quarterback sweep or any sweep. The end stringing it out, making the ball carrier go around instead of letting him duck in and back out again. If they can continue to contain that play, they'll stop the basic play of the attack.
Canadian Andrew Shishin punts as Mike Battle for Southern California gets it at the 14. Whoops, lost his footing. Bad break, because it forces Southern California inside their own 15-yard line. 42-yard punt. Steve Sagi is the quarterback. And O.J. Simpson found some daylight and then was pile-driven back to the 14 or 15.
He fumbled the ball, Chris, but very alertly, another Southern California man, Scott, was there to make the recovery. Let's watch it in slow motion. You can see him. It's the first time he's seen any daylight, and he does turn it on inside. Watch him be hit now.
By Cat Ballou. Mike
as
Ballou.
Ballou lowers that boom, he's that linebacker coming in for you. You can see Simpson in the air. Watch him get hit right here. Double team. There goes the ball. And it was recovered by Southern California.
Back live, 2nd down and 10 from the 13, and Southern California gets across its own 15.
We've talked often, Chris, about where you must move the ball from a coach's standpoint, and it's right where Southern California is now. If they're forced to punt from here, UCLA will almost be in field goal range after the punt.
Earl McCullough in the lineup now for Southern California, number 22 coming to the near side. Number 83, Ron Drake, is split. We have a 3rd down and 6 play. Simpson nearly found a hole necessary to get big yardage. Floyd Reese filling in for the UCLA defense. Next to stop at the 20-yard line. And for the Trojans, a punting situation, 4th down and 3. The ball at their own 20. Ricky Aldridge is in the punt. Mark Gustafson is at his own 45. Gustafson at the 45, midfield into Southern California territory. 40, 35, 30. Cutting across, Gustafson is inside the Trojan 15. O.J. Simpson saved a touchdown for his team as we look at it in slow motion.
It's a 37-yard punt. Here he starts back down the field, and watch his blockers now clean them out as he starts along the sidelines. He had speed enough to get outside of the pursuing lineman. Here's a beautiful block. Perfectly timed. It's not a clip. He did get his head in front of the hips, and Simpson made the tackle as it appeared he might break into the clear for the touchdown.
Jones and Purdy set behind Gary Beban, and it's a pitch to Jones, who couldn't hang on to it, but he did recover the loose ball, and it is a loss. Back to the 22-yard line, a loss of 7. Second down, 17.
And I think the play indicative of the tension of the game. It's a very simple toss. There's no option. It's simply turn, pivot, toss, and yet it was thrown just a little wild.
Bill Hayhoe, 6'8", 254 pounds, who replaced Jim Gunn, who was shaken up earlier at defensive right end, covered Jones on the play as UCLA now has a 2nd and 17 from the Southern California 22 in a tie ball game, 7-7. Beban, what poise. Beban taking all the time in the world, going to the far side is George Farmer, receives it, and they are inside the 14. There's a gain of 8, so it'll be 3rd down and 9. Ty Solness made the play for the SC defense. 7-7. We have approximately 10 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the first half. At halftime, both bands will perform, and you won't want to miss it. Dave Nuttall to the near side. Greg Jones was outside his own right end, and he usually shifts for UCLA back into the backfield alongside Purdy. As we look at Gary Beban, a reminder that college football, a pleasant and colorful way to spend an autumn afternoon. As we have a timeout, the score here is USC 7, UCLA 7. This camera was developed through the combined efforts of ABC Engineering and the Ampex Company, and it will continue to permit us the flexibility necessary to bring you outstanding coverage of major sports events. The Scrambler, the handheld colored camera down on the sideline in this terrific game, which is tied up at 7-7. UCLA has a 3rd down and 9, and here is Beban from the 14 of Southern California. He's had to run to try to get back to the line of scrimmage. Did he make it? He brings a 4th down up. Tony Terry and Bill Hayhoe. There you see Hayhoe, number 85. You can see the size of him. 6'8", 254 pounds.
Great defensive adjustment that time by Southern California. UCLA had 2 flankered men to the same side and then shifted the head back to that. Quick men.
Zenon Andrew Shishin, who has kicked 11 field goals this year, a vital man on the UCLA attack, is going to try one now from the 22 plus the 10 yards of the end zone, 32 yards, and the game is still tied here in California. No good. 32-yard attempt, no good. As we look at Coach John McKay, his 7th season with the USC Trojans, has certainly done a fine job. And there's Andrew Shishin, number 51, and Coach Tommy Prothro of UCLA. So it's a touchback. 1st and 10 now for USC with Steve Soggy at quarterback from their own 20-yard line. On reverse, this is Earl McCullough, a speedster. He's up to the 40. And a loose ball. Earl McCullough on a reverse comes around, makes good yardage. The ball squirted out. Mike Scarpace covered it, though, for the Trojans, and it's a 73-yard effort.
All of the fake coming this way, as you can see. The UCLA linebacker shot, opened it up perfectly. It appears that he's in the clear. Manning comes across, pulls him down, and as he hits the ground now, he drops the ball, but Scarpace, as every good football player should, pursued it and made the vital recovery.
Live now, 1st and 10 for the Trojans from the UCLA 28. As O.J. Simpson being keyed on today. And defensively brilliant by UCLA. And Mike Ballou, along with Larry Agajanian, number 72 on the right, who incidentally is the son of Ben Agajanian.
If Simpson will continue to fake as well over the ball as he did on that previous play, Chris, he'll mean a great deal to his team, even though he himself may not make a great deal of yardage.
As Oklahoma comes from behind to down Kansas 14-10. Simpson today has carried 9 times for 7 yards. It's a 2nd down and 10 for the Trojans. Steve Soggy fakes a handoff to Simpson, who blocks, and the pass is complete to McCullough. Simpson did a nifty job at protecting Soggy, while McCullough was seeping through to the 15.
Watch the play in slow motion here. McCullough starting down the field. Great faking in the backfield that you can't see. It looked like he was trying to run a streak pattern, but as the second halfback moved back, that's Gustafson, McCullough hooks, and here comes that perfectly thrown ball, drilled at the numbers.
The second first down and the first completion by SC as Simpson now gets the ball, moving from the UCLA 15 on a first down play. You see Ballou, you see quite a few of the UCLA men, Larry Agajanian and Floyd Reese. A final, Michigan downing Wisconsin, and Purdue continuing to win against Michigan State today. From the 13-yard line for Southern California, it is a 2nd down and 8. Tie ball game, and they are in UCLA territory. Steve Soggy. Simpson. There's his brilliance. 13 yards. Touchdown.
I couldn't see any daylight, but he could.
A tremendously gifted athlete. Number 32, O.J. Simpson. The block thrown by Steve Lammer, number 68. And it's 13 yards to pay dirt. And Coach Tommy Prothro realizes now that his UCLA Bruins have lost the lead as a result of Simpson. Ricky Aldrich was Soggy holding, will try the point after. 13-7, USC leading UCLA. About 8 minutes left in the first half. It's good, the kick. Slow motion of the last play, and look at it carefully, bud.
You young football players watch this one. It gives you an idea of how a great ball carrier moves. He turns upfield behind his blocking and then lights that afterburner. Defense pursuing, but they can't quite get to him. He sees that goal line and watch those legs stride for it. He's got that extra burst of speed, that great balance, foot on the ground as he's hit, and his determination carries him into the end zone. A truly remarkable run.
O.J. Simpson, 28 yards, 4 plays, as McCullough returned a kick beautifully, some 52 yards. Here is Simpson being hit on the back by one of his teammates. So it's going to be UCLA receiving this kick that comes from Tim Rosevich. We have Bolden to the near side, Garrett to the far side. 14-7, Southern California leads UCLA. UCLA receiving the ball now. It's Garrett in the end zone, and Bill Bolden probably said just as well not to bring it out. From the 11-yard line, first down. Jones, Gary Magner, number 75, and Ralph Oliver on the play defensively for SC.
When they leave the middle as apparently open as Southern California is doing, it's a tremendous temptation on the part of the quarterback to keep running plays in there, but the linebackers or the tackles are moving with the snap of the ball to the inside and closing off that apparent big gap that you see.
Okay, Bud Wilkinson, 2nd and 10 from the 11. UCLA with the ball. Great pursuit. Snow is 55 for Southern California. Rick Purdy carrying the ball on the play, and he moves it out to the 15 for a pickup of 4, so it'll be 3rd down and 6. A minute and 20 seconds remaining in the first half. The Trojans of Southern California lead UCLA 14-7. 3rd and 6. Dave Nuttall is the potential receiver to the far side. Oh, an open set now as Jones carries it, finds the hole, and gets the first down for UCLA with time of factor now here near the end of the first half.
By the time Beban had finished shifting, it became a single wing set. Jones ran it like an experienced single wing tailback.
54 seconds on the huge clock at the somewhat open end of the Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles, Bud.
The score is 14-7, Chris, but UCLA has dominated play. They've rushed 29 times past 10. They've snapped a total of 39 plays. Southern California has only made 26 snaps. Southern Cal has made 109 yards, UCLA 144.
Tommy Prothro in the hat. Gary Beban now with a 1st and 10 following a 14-yard gain at his own 29. 14-7, closing seconds of the first half. Beban looking. Beautiful play to Rich Spindler. Spindler is across midfield. Adrian Young makes the play, and what helped make it go was Ron Copeland, who went very deep and quickly lining up now from the 47 of SC with a 1st and 10. 30 seconds to go in the first half. A pass out in the flat to Nuttall. Couldn't hang on to it. Beban's total offense now today is 121 yards. So we'll have a 2nd down and 10 for UCLA at the 47 of Southern California. Time left 25 or 6 seconds in the first half. Beban calling signals. Ron Copeland, a hurdler, is to the far side. His first year of ever playing football. Here's Beban. Copeland on the move. There he is. Copeland has it. Whoops. He did not retain possession long enough for a completion. Bill Jurancic really belted him.
He went up in the air, Chris, hoping that he could catch the ball and come down, pivoting. Unfortunately, he was thinking more about pivoting than the ball, apparently.
Gary Beban now has thrown 12 times. He's completed 6 for 109 yards. This is the 3rd and 10 play with about 21 seconds remaining in the first half. SC leading the team with the ball, 14-7. UCLA loading one out, overthrown to Rich Spindler, number 87. 4th down and 10, Bud.
That pattern remains open as Beban starts his sweep action, whether it's the sweep or the rollout pass. The linebacker is shooting, letting the flat man be open, and he will be able to hit him as the game goes along.
Well, now we have a 4th and 10 with about 17 seconds left in the first half. UCLA in possession. They'll be going for it here on, or will they? Well, let's watch. It's a slot to the near side with a flanker opposite. Jones now back in a set position along with Purdy. Here's Beban giving to Jones. Jones may get through the hole. Jones is inside the 40, where he is stopped by Tim Rusevich. And it doesn't appear that it's enough yardage for the first down as Murphy and Slagle made the hole, holding on downs, Southern California. We have about 10 seconds remaining in the first half as SC's defense has come through for Coach John McKay, holding UCLA, and now probably have one opportunity to just run out the clock. Sagi, a late arrival in the Trojan huddle,
trying to decide whether to run it out or go for the big one.
Well, we perhaps could have a bomb. We've got 2 potential, 3 receivers. Drake to the far side, McCullough to the near side. And with Simpson also in the slot position, the draw was the call to Dan Scott. Time has expired. Remember, that's only the first half. You see the vast surrounding area, the Los Angeles metropolitan area, and here is the Coliseum. 93,751. Tickets sold a long time ago for this game. Over 200 newsmen here, 200 photographers. There were people out here this morning at 6 o'clock trying to get into the ball game. Not all to the near side. In the slot, it's Greg Jones who comes back now. Farmer in the slot to the far side. Beban looking. Beban long to Copeland. Correction, Farmer. And UCLA is on the board. 53 yards. George Farmer, who had come in replacing Stanley, and Beban complete a 53-yard play.
Once again, the fake in the backfield setting it up, Chris. Beautiful fake by Beban. And a great throw.
And now Andrew Sheshin can tie it up. He does. After 2 minutes and 10 seconds of play here in the second half. And the first time they had the ball, UCLA has tied it up. I hope you enjoyed the halftime here, and I know you enjoyed the last play. If you have a timeout, Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles, the score, USC 14, UCLA 14. The first time they got the ball, UCLA scored on the second play. There goes Farmer, Bud, and Beban's pass will be perfect.
Simply a stick pattern, Chris, from the slot set. Looks awfully easy when he's that open.
And Gary Beban now, with 5,118 career yards, is in 6th place, just 7 yards behind George Myra, as O.J. Simpson has the ball for Southern California on an Andrew Sheshan kick. Simpson looking for running room and is upended hard at the 23-yard line. Possible national championship, a Rose Bowl bid, all this at stake as Southern California has been tied up. O.J. Simpson trying to break free, gets to the 26, a gain of 3. So it'll be a 2nd and 7. Final Syracuse Downing Boston College. We look at the Southern California offensive unit, which includes Mike Taylor, Steve Lermer, Dick Allman, the center, Mike Scarpace, and Ron Yari. 2 fine All-American linemen, along with Bob Miller. While in the backfield, it's Soggy, O.J. Simpson, Dan Scott, and Earl McCullough. 2nd down and 7 for the Trojans from their own 26. Here is Steve Soggy, flooding the zone to the near side. But the receivers were not open. And a loss tacked on by Alan Clayman. Number 62, a senior defensive tackle from Los Angeles, a pre-med student. Well, if all his operations in the future are that successful, he's going to be a good one.
The pursuit on the rollout by UCLA has been exceptional. Their linebackers shooting the gaps are finding daylight, and they're forcing the passer deeper than he wants to be.
Okay. A loss of 8 yards, so it'll be 3rd down and 15 for SC. This is Soggy from his own 18-yard line. 3rd down and 20. Simpson. And there is what Tommy Prothro and his staff were trying to do, limit O.J. Simpson to a minimum of yardage, not more than 10 or 15, not those all-the-way 6-pointers.
That play was indicative of how dangerous he is with extreme long yardage. They were playing a little bit loosely instead of moving at Simpson with the snap, which gave him the running room he needed.
4th and 11, so Ricky Aldridge will punt to Mark Gustafson of UCLA. And UCLA will get the ball for the 2nd time here in the 2nd half. And Mark Gustafson is hit hard by 2 Trojans. Yes. Dave Nuttall is the split into the far side. Beban at quarterback. And a leading candidate for the Heisman Trophy. Carries on the play. Running into Gary Magner. Beban was shaken up on that last play, so Bill Bolden apparently has got to go to work again. Bruised ribs sustained last week have now for the 3rd time caused him trouble. 2nd down and 17. That was Rick Purdy, the fullback, who had slipped out of the backfield, and Bolden moving to his left through what appeared to be a pretty fine pass, and there's Beban. Linebackers Ralph Oliver and Jim Snow covered on the play, and Beban is in pain.
If you've ever had that cartilage just a little tough in your ribs, you know how sharp and excruciating the pain can be, but it does pass quickly.
Back to punt now is Zenon Andrew Sheshan. Averaging 44 yards, gets one up in the air. Mike Battle at his own 18-yard line, coming to the 20, 25. Hurdling to his own 30. So USC gets the ball for the 3rd time here in the 2nd half. Tie ball game, 14-14, as John Urquiaga, the offensive center, made the tackle. UCLA tying it up after 2 minutes and 10 seconds of the 3rd quarter on a 53-yard play. Beban to Farmer. Right now we have a quarterback change for the Southern California Trojans. Toby Page of Santa Ana, California, replaced Steve Soggy. Page, number 15, with a 1st and 10 from the 30. There you see Ron Yari, 77, and number 74, Mike Taylor. There is Toby Page as Hal Griffin makes the play for UCLA. With the ball at the 32 for SC, it'll be a 2nd down and 8. Tie game, 14 all. Toby Page. Earl McCullough, a flanker back to the near side of the field. UCLA, 3-yard loss. Backed on the quarterback by Floyd Reese, the linebacker. Shooting the gap, blitzing. So from the 29, it'll be a 3rd down and 11, Bud.
The fake by Simpson was well executed, but I believe that UCLA was playing man-to-man in the secondary, and they had both pass receivers perfectly covered. Very wise on the part of Page not to try to throw the ball.
Page is out of the lineup now. Steve Soggy comes in on a 3rd down and 11. Number 12 handing off to O.J. Simpson. O.J. fails to get the 1st down. Correction. It was Earl McCullough. McCullough, number 22, Simpson, 32. So it's going to be a 4th down, and with the ball at the 33, it'll be 4th and 7, Bud.
It's the mark of a fine football team to make adjustments to the plays that have hurt you. The first time that reverse was run, McCullough went 73 yards on it. The Bruins have tightened that spot by adjusting the charge at the end.
Ricky Aldrich about to punt. Bad pass. It is partially blocked, and UCLA fighting for the ball has it in Southern California territory at about the 47 of 14. With the ball spotted at the 47, a 15-yard punt. Willie Smith blocked it for UCLA, and Andy Herrera fell on it. So let's see what the Bruins can do, and is that Gary Beban calling signals? Gary Beban is back in now from the 47 rather, of SC. Rick Purdy, the fullback. John Urquiaga.
Quick play, I believe, coming up here.
It sure is a quick play. And a weird one. Beban over to Greg Jones. Well, Bud, a little razzle-dazzle.
The idea there, Chris, of course, is that if the defensive team is careless, they will go into their defensive huddle, and you'll have them entirely outflanked. Beban was the center that time, simply tossing the ball out. Southern California, however, sensed something wrong. They did not go into the tight defensive huddle that they're in right now, as you can see it on the right part of their screen. They kept the field covered and stopped the play.
To show you the pursuit, there were 7 men that stopped the play for Southern California. So it's 3rd down now. 3rd down and about 3 for UCLA. Dave Nuttall is split to the far side. Farmer in the slot. Beban looking for Nuttall. Good hands. Dave Nuttall, the leading receiver for UCLA, grabs it, and it's a 1st down.
Nuttall is starting down here. It's the inside break. You can see him breaking to the inside. The linebacker pursuing too far to the outside, and Beban did drill that one in as perfectly as it's possible to do.
And Beban moves ahead of George Myra, all-time career total offense. Now is only 167 yards behind Steve Spurrier. From the 21-yard line, UCLA sends Greg Jones to the 17 of Southern California. Willard Scott and Bill Hayhoe made the stop. Here is UCLA's record with Gary Beban, 23-3-1. He is a winner. 2nd down and 6 for Beban. With the ball at the 17 of the Trojans. High score, 14 all. 6 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Copeland is to the near side, number 88. Nuttall is opposite. Beban looking for Copeland in the end zone. Covered. And Bill Hayhoe throws Beban for a loss to the 36, 19-yard loss. It'll be 3rd down at 25.
Once again, great end play by Southern California. Play being strung out by Griffin, and the end keeping leverage from the far side, turning on the speed to hit Beban as he tried to reverse his field.
In the last 8 years, the Pacific 8 Conference has enjoyed tremendous success in the national championship competition. Conference schools collected 5 national titles last year and have captured 33 collegiate athletic championships since 1959. 3rd and 25. There's a hole, and Greg Jones goes through it to the SC 28. It's going to be a 4th down. Adrian Young, number 50, one of the tri-captains of SC, made the play, and we have a 4th down and 17. And Zenon Andrew Session comes in.
He gets his 3rd try here, Chris. I think if you notice at the top of your screen, the overloading by Southern California to try to get the low trajectory kick block.
47 yards. Timp. It is blocked. The holder, Jones, has it. He gets a block. Bill Hayhoe, at 6 feet 8 inches tall, blocked the field goal attempt by UCLA, and Andrew Session is 0 for 3. Saturday afternoons in the fall mean colorful college football on ABC. With timeout, the score is USC 14, UCLA 14. This is a shot of the Los Angeles Coliseum, where we have a tie ball game going 14-14. As we look at number 15, Toby Page, the quarterback, and McCullough, 22. Earl McCullough comes to this side of the field from, let's call it the 40 of SC. The nation's #1 rusher, showing you why he has those staggering statistics.
This slow motion shot of Simpson will give you some idea of how a real ball carrier operates. He got good blocking as he went past the line of scrimmage, and this is what he's learned to do as the season has progressed. Take that break to the outside to pick up that extra yardage. We showed it in the pregame show. Here the halfback is turning him in very well. That's Herrera. Looks like he's going to break this tackle, but it slowed him up just enough to allow the next defender to come across and make the stop for UCLA.
Hats off to Bob Klein, number 84, who in the process of that 18-yard play did some beautiful blocking for O.J. Simpson. All right, SC from the 42 of UCLA, Toby Page. That was an interesting play, as Page had Simpson and McCullough floating to the far side of the field, and on the keeper got 3 yards to the 39. Floyd Reese on the tackle, and there is a surprising final. TCU downs Texas 24-17.
And it remains a surprising season.
Yes, it does. 2nd down and 7. Simpson inside the 35 to the 34. It'll be a 3rd and 2.
On the previous play, Chris, Don Manning came off the field. It looked as though he had jammed up his shoulder. He is an outstanding linebacker. If he cannot return, it will weaken the defense of UCLA.
With 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, SC has controlled the ball 14 plays to UCLA 7. Now a 3rd and 2 as McCullough comes to this side of the field. Page at quarterback. He did not make the 1st down. Missed it. Well, he just actually got near the line of scrimmage, and that was about it. As Alan Clayman and Kim Griffith made the play for UCLA. It's been spotted now at the 33, and it'll be a 4th down and more than a yard, just a little more than a yard.
O'Malley came in, Chris. We may get this 8-man line this time.
All right. O'Malley, number 73 up front. We do have an 8-man line. Only Beban and Scott and Simpson behind him. And Toby Page had the right play at the right time. 1st down.
UCLA adjusted very well to the 8-man offensive line by moving everyone up and having every inside slot covered. But as you said, Chris, Page took it out around, which is always a good thing to do on short yardage.
So now the ball is at the 29 of UCLA, and SC has a 1st and 10 with approximately 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Toby Page now, or USC, has a 1st and 10 at the UCLA 29. It's a tie ball game, 14 all. Page to Simpson. But a moment ago mentioned Manning, the linebacker, and we've just received word that he has broken a finger, Bud, in this tough action.
You never can afford to lose a great football player, Chris, and the percentage that it hurts you doesn't appear to be too great, but the difference in the ability to execute with coordination always drops some 3 to 5%, and in a game like this, of course, that can make the difference.
Looking at the back of Tommy Prothro, his opponents have the ball. Bob Klein is in at end, number 84. Page, the quarterback, on a 2nd down and 9. Simpson.
We had the 8-man line that time, Chris, but O'Malley couldn't decide which side to go to.
Alan Clayman, one of the 2 that made the tackle along with Hal Griffin. So with the ball at the 28, it's a 3rd down and 9. Approximately 5 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. 14 all. Now Miller replaces Klein. At the end of the 3rd quarter here at Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles, California, the score is USC 14, UCLA 14. The 4th and final period about to get underway in this battle for a Rose Bowl bid, the national championship, the game that has everything, as Southern California with a 3rd down and 9 from the UCLA 28. Toby Page has a pass intercepted. The UCLA defense lost and picked up again by Andy Herrera, number 20. Toby Page. Throwing the ball for Southern Cal, and Bud, UCLA gets an opportunity now, and I think we ought to look at it again.
He appeared to be open as Page delivered the ball, but the defender, Herrera, watch him now as he starts downfield. Breaking on the sideline cut, and there's Herrera moving right in front of him perfectly, fumbling the ball, going back to get it, and then he picked up some good blocks here down the sidelines.
Gary Beban, the quarterback. 1st and 10 from the 35. And he may have another 1st down as the pass is completed to Rich Spindler, who battled for it, number 87, in the blue and gold of the Bruins. Tim Rosevich on the tackle. Gary Beban has moved his club up to the 46-yard line. 10th 1st down for the Bruins. George Farmer comes into the UCLA lineup. Number 85 is Gwen Cooper. Number 86 goes to the sideline. Farmer is a flanker to the far side. Jones and Purdy set behind Beban. Dave Nuttall got his hand on it, and a fine defensive play by Pat Cashman, who early in the game intercepted a Beban pass and ran it back for a touchdown for SC.
He kept perfect deep position, Chris. Did not get drawn over to the sidelines until the ball was actually in the air. The pass was so deep down the field, you could do that and still get to the ball the way an outfielder plays his sideline.
Don Manning has his broken finger taped. He played defense a moment ago for UCLA as the offensive team now has the ball on a 2nd down and 10. It's complete to Dave Nuttall at the SC 38.
One of the best catches of the season, Chris. He was open across the middle. The ball was slightly low. He dove for it, got his hands under it. Miraculous catch.
So now UCLA from the 38-yard line of Southern California with a 1st and 10. Beban now has completed 10 of 18 for 198 yards. Farmer is the flanker to the far side. Short pass to Greg Jones. Jones, who this year had received only 7 passes coming into the ball game, is stopped by Terry and Cashman.
Once again, Chris, that 2nd man out into the flat pattern off the sprint out being open because the linebacker is shooting, fearing Beban's run.
Gary Beban, number 16, probably the leading candidate for the Heisman Trophy. And his team, with his direction, have picked up their 12th first down. USC has 6.
The play begins right there in the huddle, Chris. The quarterback controlling the team at that point as he calls the signals, and Beban does it beautifully.
First and 10 from the 28. Jones with Beban blocking. Jim Snow in on the play as we look at Traveler 3, the USC mascot. Line of scrimmage is the 24 of SC, and it'll be a 2nd down and 6. Beban's total offense today, 223 yards, as UCLA in a tie game has a 2nd down and 6. And Beban gives to his fullback friend Rick Purdy of Los Angeles. There are 2 boys that roommates on the road when they travel, and last night Bud and I had the pleasure of bumping into their 2 dads, who are pretty proud fathers of Beban and Purdy.
And perhaps more nervous about the game than their sons.
They certainly were. So now from the 21, it'll be a 3rd down and 3. 14-all the score with 12 minutes remaining in the ball game. Farmer, here's the flanker back to the far side. Nuttall is the split end to the near side. Beban. There's Nuttall. Touchdown, UCLA. A 65-yard march capped by a 21-yard touchdown pass and run. Beban to number 89, Dave Nuttall. And with 11 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game, UCLA gets the lead. The 5th touchdown this year for Dave Nuttall. And now Andrew Sheshin will try the point after with Greg Jones holding. And it is no good. So the score remains 20-14. And let's again look at Beban hitting Nuttall for the touchdown.
Nuttall is flankered. Beban was rolling away from him. Now Nuttall breaks across the middle. The linebackers were shooting. One of them moved to the outside there with the crossing back. He was wide open as he caught the ball, and then he does some fancy running here. Watch him cut back. One USC man fell over the other one, and when he saw that goal line, he was determined to get into it.
And following the touchdown, UCLA tried the point after, and a high pass from center probably contributed to the fact that Andrew Sheshin missed it, and that could be a big factor because now UCLA only has a 6-point lead with 11 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game. It'll be Andrew Sheshin doing the kicking following the Farmer touchdown. O.J. Simpson is deep, number 32.
And he's determined.
Soccer-style kicking of Andrew Sheshin, and the fleet-footed running now may be on display by Simpson at the 5, the 10, 15. He's up to the 20 now. Has room to the 25, 30, pulling away, and sheer second effort brings him out to the 34-yard line. So Southern California has the ball at its own 34, first down. They trail by 6 points. Here's McCullough, Dan Scott, and O.J. Simpson in the backfield. McCullough flanked to the far side. Bob Miller splits lightly to the near side from his own 34, Page. He just carries people with him. Simpson. Blocking with Steve Lammer as we look at Coach Tommy Prothrow. Simpson now 22 carries, 80 yards. The ball is at the 37, 2nd down and 7 for Southern California. A Rose Bowl bid, Bud, is at stake.
Everything that they fought for all year coming down to the wire now, Chris, in these final minutes.
Bob Miller to the far side, 2nd and 7, Page. And a pair of UCLA tacklers, Ken Griffith, number 91, and number 26, Mark Gustafson, finally get Page, number 15. And let's see where he was forced out. At the 36-yard line, a 4-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and 3 for the Trojans, and this is Gary Beban. Keeping warm on the near sideline. Ron Drake is split to the far side. McCullough, number 22, is a wingback to the near side. They need 3 yards. First down and more. There's Simpson. Look at that cut. O.J. Simpson.
That's all she wrote.
64 yards. 64 thrilling, captivating collegiate football yards. And let's look at that one again. Wow.
Don't recall seeing anybody that can turn it on like this boy, Chris. There he is past the line of scrimmage. Watch him read his blocks downfield now. There's that fast break to the outside. Now he hesitates just a little bit. And as he turns back across the field here, he goes much further than the UCLA defenders, but he's so much faster, it makes no difference.
64 yards.
And we've got, again, a tie game.
And now Ricky Aldrich. We pointed out that the missed point after by Andrew Sessions for UCLA. This is a boy that can put his team ahead. It's up and good. USC forges to the front. Excitement, color, and tradition every Saturday on NCAA college football. The timeout here, the score is Southern California 21, UCLA 20. There is the man that raced 64 yards from his own 36 to the UCLA end zone, and with Aldrich's point after, now Southern California leads 21-20. We've had a touchdown by each team in a matter of 1 minute. So tell your friends not to go away. Tim Rasevich will boot. And back we have Garat and Bolden. It is Bolden, the reserve quarterback for UCLA, that is down, hemmed in at his own 13. Ron Copeland to the far side. Nuttall to the near side. And the single man in the backfield on a double wing formation was Rick Purdy, who carried for perhaps a yard. There is Don Manning, the defensive captain, number 50, with his the broken fingers on his left hand. He's been playing defense. That's the desire.
We had a new pattern of defense that time by Southern California. They went into a 6-1 set, which leaves Solness, their rover man, free to shoot.
Dave Nuttall to the near side. Farmer is the flanker back to the far side on 2nd and 9. Beban. Look out. Jim Gunn, number 56, and Jim Snow, number 55, come up with a big defensive play for SC.
Once again, those ends, by refusing to let Beban outside, have controlled the UCLA attack.
A loss of 19 yards, so it'll be 3rd down and 28. Beban now has 12 rushes today with minus 45 yards net. 21-20, USC leads. 4.5 minutes left in the game, and 3rd down and 28 for UCLA at their own goal line. Beban carried on the play. Tony Terry and Jim Gunn make the stop.
What he was trying to do there was get 3 more yards out on the field so that his kicker could get back deep enough in the end zone to not be pressed on the punt, and also have, of course, no danger of stepping on the end line to create a safety.
And this is the time when UCLA fans hope that Andrew Sessions can really boom one, as Mike Battle, we're looking at him now, number 17, is in single safety for Southern California. Andrew Sessions' boot coming out to the 47-yard line. Battle has it. Now going upfield, and Battle, who is number 4 in the country on punt returns, is down at the 43. UCLA takes over there following this 44-yard punt. Toby Page at quarterback. McCullough is the wing at the bottom of your screen with Scott and O.J. Simpson. Scott blocking, Simpson carrying to the 35. About 8 yards. Don Manning on the tackle. Simpson now with 185 yards in the game. Clock is running. We have 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go. USC leading by 1, 21-20, as we look at Beban and the Bruins on the sideline. Their defensive unit is at work. 2nd down and 2. Toby Page going for the 2 yards. Gets a block from Allman, the center, and Scarface, first down.
It'll be interesting, Chris, to see how close USC can come to using up the full 25 seconds between each play. The referee just dropped his hand, and I'll keep track of the seconds.
Southern Cal has 1 timeout remaining. UCLA has 2. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the ball game. Toby Page now with a 1st and 10 from the 32. Gives it to Simpson.
They got the ball off that time in 21 seconds, Chris, which is good timing.
Ranieri made the block up front. And the ball is now at the 28-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 6. Thanksgiving Day, don't forget, Oklahoma, Nebraska on ABC, coast to coast, live and in color. Earl McCullough now, flanked at the right of your screen, number 22. Set in the backfield, Simpson and Scott. They need 6 yards. And Scott keeping it on the ground, trying to run out that clock as we have 1 minute and 55 seconds left in the game. You know, the Pacific 8 Conference and the University of Southern California will play host to the nation's top collegiate basketball teams in the 1968 NCAA Championship Finals at the Los Angeles Sports Arena on March 22nd and 23rd. So now it's a 3rd down play with the ball at the 24. It's a 3rd down and a little more than 2 yards, nearly 3. Page, number 15. Minute and a half to go. Page on a keeper. It's 1st down and ball control for the men of Troy.
UCLA has 2 timeouts remaining, Chris. They'll have to use them soon.
About a minute and 10 seconds to go in this thriller from Los Angeles. Timeout here at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, where the score is USC 21, UCLA 20. Today, with 10 cameras covering this game, you'll have to agree is one of the finest games ever. As SC now has a minute and 10 seconds to control the ball with a 1st and 10 at the UCLA 20. They lead by 1 point, 21-20. Toby Page, number 15. And is it a loose ball? Let's see. It is, and UCLA recovers.
Just a little over-anxiousness, Chris. Toby Page pulled away just before the ball was snapped. He didn't make the exchange. And what a break for UCLA.
As we look at the clock, about a minute and 9 seconds. That's unofficial. And UCLA's Gary Beban now has the ball at his own 21. UCLA has 1 timeout left.
And if you wonder why coaches get gray, you call him the safest play in the game and you fumble.
And both Tommy Prothro and John McKay have grayed at an early age, like my colleague Bud Wilkinson and Bill Fleming. I've done a little of it myself. Afternoons like this will add more. Copeland to the far side now. That was Gary Beban, and let's see what the call will be. Tim Rosovich barreling through.
Beban was thrown for a 3-yard loss.
The ball comes back to the 18. That is a 2-yard, negative 3-yard loss. 2nd down, 13. Here's Beban. And now trying to get out of bounds, and also the catch was Ron Copeland. He succeeded in both cases. So the clock is stopped with, maybe 43 seconds left in the ball game. And the team that has the ball trails by a point in the game that will decide who will play in the Rose Bowl against the Big Ten champion. The national championship is at stake. The number 1 team in the country, and there is their coach. They have the ball with a 3rd down and about 7. It's complete out to the 40 and falling forward to the 43 with about 35 seconds to go. Ron Copeland, first down.
No huddle here, Chris. And UCLA wishes the referee would get off the ball and let them snap it.
There's Gary Beban throwing one over in the direction of George Farmer. And a flag goes down. And let's see if the intentional grounding will be tacked on UCLA. We'll check the official, Jack Springer, the referee.
The ball's on the 37-yard line.
Intentional grounding of a forward pass brings the ball back to the 37-yard line.
And the clock starts.
And it is a loss of a down, too. So it's second down now and about 15. And Beban swarmed by Jim Gunn, number 56, and time has expired. And the University of Southern California Trojans